guys, today we are here to talk about the new moon in Taurus. It will be a partial solar eclipse also, and it's happening on April the 30th at 10 degrees and 28 minutes, so you can round that up to about 11 degrees. A similar eclipse occurred around April the 29th of 2014. If you look back to that time frame, you may be experiencing similar themes to that time. The effects of this new moon and solar eclipse can be felt up to 6 months after the actual date of the eclipse. This eclipse will most strongly affect people who are born with personal planets and points at 5 to 15 degrees of the fixed signs: Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Do you have planets and points between 5 to 15 degrees of these fixed signs? If so, watch out. Taurus energy is all about the tangible. It's all about what really makes you feel safe, secure, taken care of, cherished, comfortable, creature comforts. This card says, the energy around you shows the abundance of nature. It is rich, earthy, and productive, yet relaxed and slow. According to AstroSeek, it's not wise to have surgeries during this time. Also, keep in mind that your neck, your larynx, your throat, vocal cords, thyroid gland, tonsils, and Adam's apple will be more susceptible during this time. You will want to make sure to give extra special care to those areas of your body. Your body will thank you for this later. New moons are all about new beginnings. But in the sign of Taurus, it's all about quality over quantity. We want something real, something earthy, something we can touch, taste, feel, something solid that will last the test of time. You can expect massive changes, destined opportunities, and new beginnings in the house associated with this new moon solar eclipse for you. For Aries Rising, this will be occurring in your second house and on the 8th house axis. Therefore, this could be something relating to your self-worth, or maybe something destabilizing as it relates to your personal finances. You may be asking yourself, what is the best way to invest my money? What is most important to me in this point in time in order to create and maintain the creature comforts that I require to feel safe in my life? So these are some questions you might be looking at. For Taurus Rising, this will be occurring in your first house and on the 7th house axis. So this is all about how you see yourself and how others see you, maintaining your identity. Okay, so some of you may be dealing with identity issues, feeling as if somebody is muddying up your sense of self in some sense of the word, and being fearful of losing your identity, if that makes sense. So this is about finding that balance in order to maintain healthy relationships without losing oneself. For Gemini Rising, this will be occurring in your 12th house on the 6th house axis. So the 12th house is the subconscious, the hidden, the past. Very likely, Gemini Rising people, something that was veiled from you will now come to light. For some of you, it may just be how your subconscious affects your health or affects your work life. It doesn't have to be that, but it can be. This is the house of undoing. So it's basically learning how we may be self-sabotaging in some sense of the word. For Cancer Rising, this will be affecting your 11th house and the 5th house axis. So for Cancer Rising, this is all about your friends, your networks, and your associations. This could even be your online presence for some of you. You're going to be really evaluating which of these networks, friendships, associations are beneficial to you. And it's very likely that any of these that are not beneficial to you will be eclipsed out during this time. For Leo Rising, this will be occurring in your 10th house on the 4th house axis. So something could be coming to the forefront as it relates to your career. And if it's not that, I would say it may have something to do with power struggles, how you deal with authority figures. Are you giving your power away or misusing it in some way that is causing instability in your life? So those are the kinds of focuses that Leo Rising people will have on their plate during this time. For Virgo Rising, this will be in your 9th house on the 3rd house axis. So Virgo Rising, this is all about expanding your horizons. This can be about legal, this can be about spirituality, this can be about higher education, foreign people, foreign places, foreign lands. But either way, this is something about expanding your world outside of the known paradigms. For Libra Rising, this will be occurring in your 8th house and on the 2nd house axis. The 8th house is transformation, endings, shared resources, debt. It can even be a death, which is very rare, but it can happen. So for most people, the 8th house is getting ourselves out of some very toxic karmic entanglements. So any of these types of situations may be relevant to you. It's where we transform our fears here. For Scorpio Rising, this will be occurring in your 7th house and on the 1st house axis. So this is close one-on-one relationships. They do not have to be romantic. They can be romantic, or they can be business, or they can be close one-on-one relationships with family members. But more specifically, Scorpio Rising, you will be dealing with relationships that are heavy to you, that are toxic to you, that are not helping you as far as stability, that are not sustainable, that type of thing. So there could be breakups for some exposing going on as it relates to these relationships. So just be watching out for that. For Sagittarius Rising, this will be occurring in your 6th house and on the 12th house axis. The 6th house is about pets, daily duties, daily routine, and your health. So there could be something that comes to the forefront in these areas of your life. Be very careful around health issues. Do not take anything for granted that happens during this time. And also, like I said, there can be something with your job or your daily duties. You may be asking yourself if this is beneficial to you, if this is sustaining to you. Is it helping you to connect to your dreams, to your goals, to your purpose? So that may be at the forefront for Sagittarius Rising people. For Capricorn Rising, this will be occurring in your 5th house and on the 11th house axis. So the 5th house is all about children, creativity, and romance. So this eclipse may be hitting you in that sector. Something could be happening as far as your children are related, or as it relates to a creative project, or a romantic partner. Something here could be eclipsing out. So just keep that in mind. You may also realize that, you've decided that where you're at doesn't bring you joy. And so you're searching for that joy, for those networks, for those associations that will bring you that joy. For Aquarius Rising, this will be occurring in your fourth house, your roots, your home, your stability, your family. This is the fourth house and on the 10th house axis. So maybe there's something about your responsibility as it relates to family. It could be that. This can be talking about your emotions as it relates to your home life. There may be some sort of trigger that comes to the forefront as it relates to these subjects during this time. And last but not least is Pisces Rising. This is happening in your third house and on the ninth house axis. So Pisces Rising people may realize that you have more nervous tension than normal. Something could be happening that's kind of eye-opening or means a lot to you as it relates to your neighborhood or your siblings, maybe even your extended family. Some of you may even decide that you want to pursue an education in some sense of the word. So just keep that in mind, and that is all I have for all 12 signs for this new moon in Taurus with a partial solar eclipse. And last but not least, I pulled a card for advice for everyone for this time frame, and we have the Revolution card. This is all about going after what your higher calling, your higher purpose is, what you know you're meant to do, what brings you joy, stability, and happiness. That's where your heart should be led. Thank you guys so much for your support, and I will see you all again very soon. Bye, guys.